I like to think I'm like, the best player on the field when I'm out there, and so that also like boosts my confidence and able to help me perform more.
That's the voice of Bubba Coleman, the class of 2026 middle infielder and LSU commit. Bubba and his family recently moved all the way from Arizona to Georgia so he could play at a higher level. He was the starting second baseman for Buford High School this year and plays for the Astros over summer. We're all in with Bubba Coleman. All right, guys, welcome to episode 3 of the All In Pod. I am your host, Conrad Cornell. I'm here with my co-host, Corey Garastazu. He is our
Yes, sir.
brand new head of baseball. We're pumped to have him on. And Bubba Coleman. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
having me.
So, Bubba, I think to start us off, let's take it back a little bit. Share a little bit about your story, about your family, where you're from, and when you started to play sports.
So a little bit about me. I'm originally from Arizona. We just moved here to Georgia about a year ago. Um, I've always grown up playing around baseball. My dad was a coach, so I've always been around the game since I was younger. And then I just eventually like started actually playing competitively, actually when I was like 12, 13 years old. So I didn't really play competitively for that long. I love my LSU commit. And yeah.
All right.
So, Bubba, you said you just started playing competitively when you were 12. What does that mean? Like you played rec ball or
Yes,
you
sir.
like
I played in my parents' little league until I was the 12th.
that's a good way to do it, man. That's how all the people my age used to roll.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Would you say you
Uh,
do you know like when you fell in love with the game, like you're like, all right, I want to do this for real? Because for me, it took me a while to get to that point. And I'm just curious to see if, it kind of hits you later on as you got to like 13, 14, and you're like, all right, I could do this and have a future in
No,
it. Or since you were little, you're like, this is what I want to do.
I think for me it was ever since I was little.
Nice.
That's when I knew I wanted to do this for a while.
Nice. Yeah, baseball is one of those sports where you got to start when you're young, and you can't really take a break from it or anything. So
Yes,
I'm
sir.
glad that I stuck with it and all that.
I was around it 24/7, so like, that also kind of helps it and
Nice.
made me want to stay around it for a while too.
Good, man.
I'm
Good.
sure having a dad as a coach has got to be pretty awesome. What level does he coach? And talk a little bit about that relationship.
Yeah, he's coached high school ball for over 20 years now. Him and his good friend, they've always worked together. He actually coached me for a little bit with my travel team back in Arizona, and he is always there to like push me and get me better. He's also like been my hitting coach my whole life, so everything I know is from my dad.
Nice.
So your dad's been your hitting coach your whole life. That's awesome to have a built-in hitting coach there with you all the time. That's probably a big reason why you're such a good hitter. One thing we haven't talked about is, or you mentioned it a little bit, but committing to LSU at such a young age. Um, could you share a little bit about what that process was like for you? When did it start? How did you kind of comprehend everything and yeah, just the whole thing.
Yes, sir. So, obviously, I'm from Arizona, and Coach Jay Johnson, who's at LSU now, was actually at University of Arizona. So I had already been in contact with him there. And then, would always talk. Went out to a couple games, and then when he went to LSU, went out to a camp, and then that's when he, said he wanted me, gave me an offer, and that's when I committed. But the process it was felt super fast, but we made sure we like checked out every school I wanted to check out. We made sure the coaching and the fans and all that was like the right fit for me, and with LSU that checked every box that we had.
Nice, man. Nice. Yeah, I had a friend of mine that went to LSU, and I mean, you're going to a great organization.
Yes, sir.
Definitely sports wise, everything academic. He loved it. One thing about me, like when I went to college, my biggest thing was just like there. I went to two universities, right? And I went to Marshall University, which is in West Virginia. To me, that's like the North Pole. I'm
Mm.
from Florida, so I mean, I was like going
Oh,
from
okay.
warm weather to from Miami, Florida to Huntington, West Virginia, and it was scary at first. So like, obviously, it's not LSU, huge program, but still Division I school. And I remember,
Right.
man, just like the difference because I ended up transferring to Jacksonville University, and I remember like comparing two universities, and I was like, why was this so successful? Why was this such a good baseball school, and why was this just like a, you know, mediocre, like we didn't really get far type of school? And the difference in Marshall and Jacksonville, because I ended up going to a regional right when I transferred to Jacksonville, and we were like 3 games away from Omaha. And the biggest thing to me, man, was just that locker room. Right when I got in there as a freshman, nobody was really together. And then I went to Jacksonville, and like everyone was just on the same page. There wasn't no cliques or anything like that. So I'm sure, like at LSU, especially from what my friend told me, that you're gonna be in one of those programs where you're just gonna be, family right when you start and stuff. So but
Yes, sir.
you have to be excited, right? I mean, I'm sure
Yes, sir.
you got a
Yeah.
little bit of butterflies. You don't know what's next. But what I tell people all the time is like going from high school, or even like when you started high school, right?
Yes,
Let's
sir.
say you're in varsity and you're like, man, this is the next level. As soon as you get that little foul tip or whatever, you get that confidence. You're like, all right, I belong here. And I guarantee you, right when you go to LSU, whatever, after that, let's say you go to pro ball, that's how it's always going to be. So I've seen some of your stuff, man, and definitely wishing you luck for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
So, Bubba, baseball is a pretty repetitive game. People are pretty superstitious. Do you have any game day routines or superstitions that
Oh,
hit on repeat?
oh, I do have a couple superstitions. Um, to start the tournament, um, I put my right sock on first, and if I don't do well the first day, I put the left sock on first the next day. Um,
That's a good one.
I don't let nobody touch my bat, so I get a hit with it, and then they think they can touch it. Um, let's see what else do I got.
I haven't heard that one,
Oh,
man. I've heard some
I
crazy
hit
stuff, but I haven't heard that one. That's pretty dope.
I hit exactly 6 balls my first round. I don't know, that just always stuck with me. Let's see.
So first round of
Yeah,
BP.
always six
What if
six
what if
balls.
what if freshman year they say, LSU, all right, you got five.
Then I'm taking five.
That is
That's cool, man.
awesome. Man, I don't think I had a big enough attention span to have actual routines that I stuck to. I was just always doing random stuff.
No, yeah, I'm pretty superstitious.
Same,
Like, I mean,
man.
before I
Same.
pitched, I definitely had my game day, like, you know, I'm about to try to throw a complete game type stuff. But I was like, as far as hitting goes, because I kind of had this like, they didn't really know where they were going to play me. But I was like, I could run fast and throw hard, so I was like a pitcher. But they also wanted me to play outfield.
Yeah.
So hitting wise, I just never got into the groove really, and I probably could have used some repetitive stuff like that.
I would say
Yeah,
hitting wise is when you get into the more freaky superstitions, man. Like I remember keeping my same broken batting glove for a month just because I could not stop hitting the ball. And
yeah,
that thing,
that's
it,
what I do. If I go like 0 for one day, the batting gloves are coming off.
yeah, 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 yeah,
The batting gloves got to come off.
yeah. I agree.
Well,
That's
but how
cool.
about outside of baseball? What do you do for fun to get your mind off the game?
On weekends, because that's really when I only have time. Was when we're not playing on the weekends, or with summer coming up, them days that I have off, I'll just get away from baseball completely. I like to hang out with my friends, family, um, go to the mall with friends, and just stay away from baseball for that one day I do have off.
Yeah. I used to like sometimes when life is baseball, you gotta at least have like those 1 or 2 days where you're just like, all right, don't talk about baseball just for a little bit.
Yes,
Yeah, it's not a
exactly.
bad thing. Believe me, man. Believe me.
Yes, sir,
Our
exactly.
coach in college used to be like, we would be playing bad. He'd be like, guys, 2 days off. Don't think about baseball. And we're like
Yeah,
in the middle of season. We're
that's
going to the
good.
Yeah.
conference tournament.
That's good.
Uh, that was pretty hype. So hang out with family. You play any video games?
Yes, sir. I'm big, like, I'm gonna be the show type guy. My team's
Okay.
my team's pretty good.
Nice. I
That's
can
pretty
never get
hype.
into
You got a
this.
gamer tag that people can hit you up with?
Oh, Bubbles_com, COM.
I
All right.
was
You guys heard it here. Bubbles underscore com.
That's a good one. I was always a Madden type dude.
Yeah, I play some Madden, some 2K.
When they came to
I don't really play.
Fortnite and all
I don't
that,
really be.
forget about
Yeah, I
that.
don't really play Fortnite no more.
They'll run up to me and they start building and I'm out. Forget about it.
Yeah, that's why I be playing the no build.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the only
Yeah.
way I could definitely compete.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice
Hey,
man.
Bubba, a couple more things, man. I want to hear a little bit about. So you're rising sophomore now. School's pretty much over, going into summer. Talk a little bit about your mental game. And baseball's a game of failure. So is there anything, any techniques you use, anything you go back to when you're maybe in a slump or things aren't going well at the plate? What do you do to figure it out and to stay on top of, getting back into a groove?
For me, I like to just look at like old highlights for like when I'm not in a slump and just look at how like well I know I can be and how good I know I can do. So that boosts my confidence up, like just to like, let's get back there. I mean, I like to think I'm like, the best player on the field when I'm out there. And so that also like boosts my confidence and able to help me perform more. But I'm not like cocky about it, but it's just that confidence that you need to be a successful baseball player.
I'm sure having your pops around also helps because like me growing up, when I was like even if I did kind of, I'm a pretty confident person, but like even when I was kind of doubting myself, like he was there in the car to say, "Hey man, like you're the best player on the field and all that." I remember growing up that definitely helps. So I'm sure you and your
Yes, sir.
pops have a good relationship because I know you guys work hard and you work together.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
100%.
Sweet man.
We talked a lot about your dad. How about your mom? It was just Mother's Day. You put up a pretty nice post. You you guys moved from Arizona to Buford, Georgia to play at a higher level. Um, that's a huge commitment, man. And hats off to your parents for doing that for you in your career. What like how did you kind of process that whole move and what does it mean to you for your parents to do that for you?
It means a lot, like knowing that they're willing to give their all for me and just to see me succeed and get better, exposure to the game. So I can't thank them enough for that. But the process, we were actually mid-tournament, so there was a Houston tournament. So we went from Arizona, drove to Houston for that tournament. After that tournament was over, we drove from Houston to Georgia because like Houston was like the halfway mark. I went from Arizona, played in the tournament, and then drove to Georgia.
Dang. Wow.
That's and first high school season at Buford. Um, anything you got? Any words of wisdom you have for upcoming freshmen that might be playing on varsity their freshman
Just
year?
you get like I said, you can have your friends all off the field, but when you get on the field, y'all are the same two people fighting for that spot. So when you get on that field, you gotta flip that switch, and like you can have your friends, like I said, but like there's still someone that's competing for the same spot as you. So
Right. Right.
just gotta flip that switch when you get on the field.
Nice. Cool, man.
Oh man, well, Bubba, it was awesome to have you on again.
Yes,
First
sir.
episode got a technical miscue, but thanks for joining the show and super excited to share this stuff with everybody out there. If you're watching this, Bubba, what's your socials?
My Instagram is Bubba Coleman with two N's. My press app is Bubba Coleman, and my Twitter is Bubba Coleman 6, and MLB the show is Bubbles_com.
Yeah.
Hey,
But no
and
Fortnite.
are you accepting connection requests right now on Press Sports?
Wait, what?
You accepting connection requests right now on Press Sports?
Yes, sir.
All right. Request to connect with him on Press Sports. You
There
got an
you
open
go.
line of communication.
Yes, sir.
Bubba Coleman, 2026 LSU commit, top ranked prospect in the country. Thanks so much for joining the All In Show. We
Thanks for having
are
me.
out.
Nice talking with you, Bubba. Good luck, man. I know you're gonna tear
Nice
it
to meet
up.
you. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the All In Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode or you're new to the show, we'd love to have you subscribe to catch future episodes. You can also follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat at Press Sports. And of course, sign up for the app by downloading Press Sports in the App Store or Play Store today. Thanks for listening.